What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations. I am your host, Shantanique Langston, better known as Neek Speaks. And of course, I have my co host tonight, no other than DeAnne McGowan. She is the bomb.com, you all. So I just want to reiterate who I am. Again, I am Shantanique Langston, your personal and professional relationship coach. I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference. And of course, if there's anything that will resonate with you tonight, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also follow me on Instagram at Neat Speaks and also on Facebook. What's up, Facebook family? I hope you guys are doing well. And so we're talking about strong friends tonight. This is strong friend therapy, and I didn't think of anybody better than DeAnne. And so I'm so grateful to have known her in the past couple of years, and then find out we went to the same college. Did not know that.
Who knew?
Who knew, right? Who knew? But God knows what to do. And I'm grateful for our collaboration, our partnership that God has brought together. And so tonight, you all, she's going to be sharing some things. I'm going to be sharing some things too. But I want you to go ahead, DeAnne, tell the people who you are, what you do. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name's DeAnne McGowan. I'm a clinical social worker in the state of Michigan. I've been in the field for over 10 years. I think we hitting 12 years now. Whew. So been in the field about 12 years now. I've worked in a variety of settings: inpatient, psychiatric, outpatient, child welfare. I worked in a prison, currently working at the VA. And I also do therapy on the side in private practice. Shout out to Transition Family Services. That is where I practice out of. And I love what I do. I can honestly say that. I truly love what I do.
Yes, I'm like I said, y'all, she the bomb. She brings the heat, okay, when it comes to mental health. And again, I'm so happy to have her on tonight. So we're gonna jump right in.
All right.
And make sure you guys are sharing this podcast because this is going to bless somebody's life. I know it's blessing mine, even today, like in my current situation. And a lot of people who follow me, they know that I am in my mental health journey. And not only that, my fitness journey too. And so I've been mixing the two together. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing when you begin to focus on yourself. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. You need to focus on yourself to get yourself together so that you can have wholesome and healthy relationships. You
Absolutely.
cannot do that if you're not taking the time to get to know yourself and being able to work on the things that's hindering you, or what has hindered you in the past. All right. So I want to, before we do this, I want to jump into this icebreaker question. I want to ask you, what is your dream girls trip?
Oh, dream girls trip. Oh my gosh. So let's see. So I have to like take into consideration that pretty much all of my girls are hardworking women. So um in the event that we need to um relax, relaxing would be number one. Somewhere hot, somewhere warm, warm climate. Um uh oh, honestly, like a big old house on a beach, me and my girls talking, drinking wine, dancing, chilling. Uh-oh, did I lose you, Neek? You're refreshing. Uh-oh. There you go.
Okay. Yes, I completely went out. I'm like,
Did
that's
you hear
terrible.
anything I said?
I got you.
Okay.
I heard you a little bit. I didn't hear. I missed the trip part. I see somebody commented. I need to be on this
Oh,
trip
that's
again.
one of my girls right there.
Oh, hey,
So
girl. Hey,
Yeah,
girl.
so I can do a quick short. So I said all of my girls are hardworking women. So any trip in a big old house off a beach where we don't have to do anything but talk, drink, eat well, like just that good conversation. It's nothing like girl talk, and me and my girls have the best talks ever. Hey, cuz, got my Sans and my cousin here.
Hey, Donna. Good to see you on tonight. Okay. All right. That's so amazing. I know when I talked to my girls, we were talking about a girls trip, and um, and then too, we talked about the same question with. I have some other collaborators talking about this question, and they were saying they want to be strategic about who they go out with because you can't do a girls trip with everybody. Like
Oh, no, no, no.
we, like us, we're healers. Like we talked about this before, being healers, and we attract you know, energy. And so they might be cool with us, but they're not cool with everybody else. So it's very important that we are strategic about who we go on what trips with.
Absolutely.
Like that is a thing. Hey Sherry.
Hi,
Hey, hey.
beautiful. Hey,
So yeah, it's very important to, understand. Shanice, hey girl, hey girl. Everybody on the night. What's up? So yeah, y'all need to be very careful. Y'all gonna go on girlfriend trips. Make sure it's your circle,
you
like the people who check in with you.
you can't travel with everybody.
You cannot travel. I
Mm-mm.
refuse to. I will go by myself first
Absolutely.
before I just go with just anybody.
Absolutely.
Cause I'm not trying to people on no trip.
Mm-mm. Can't do it.
I'm not trying to be messy on no trip.
Can't do it.
No, I'm trying to have some fun. Like you said, just be at a house. That's nice. And just be simple. I like the way that you put it. You said just be simple, be with your friends, knowing how to be present. A lot of people don't know how to be present.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna get into that right now. Those who just logged in, what's up, y'all? My name is Shantanique Langston, your personal and professional relationship coach. And tonight we're talking about strong friends. This is the strong friend therapy session we about to have, okay? Because the strong people are always neglected, and the conversation is not had at all. Like it's pushed under the rug, but we're gonna knock that wall down, okay? Because strong friends matter. You matter, and it's time for people to tap into you.
Absolutely.
Okay, period. It's not fair. We're everything to everybody else, but nobody is thinking about us. Nobody thinking about us because they're too busy with their hand out, always out. Can I get an amen? Somebody in the chat.
Amen.
The
Also, I think a lot of times they think the strong fan, they like, oh well, she got it. She all right. I think that's usually the attitude. She'll be fine. She
that
got
is it. Yeah, that is. That
this.
is. Yeah. So let me give y'all the definition really quick. So strong friend is a person who rarely talks about moments of sadness, feeling vulnerable, or needing help. This type of person has gone through a lot during their lifespan
Yeah.
and have been in a position of a caregiver since they were young. Now, that might be a big pill to swallow, but it is the truth for us, for most of us
Yeah.
who've had to endure a lot of things as a child. I know a lot of my friends who were big brother, big sister early,
Mhm. Yeah.
cooking at 7, 8, 9, making sure everyone's up, getting ready for school, So again, those are all wounds of neglect, abandonment. Okay. I don't want to go deep into that, but that is the root cause of a lot of people who go ahead and just, you know what, I'm going to stay in this strong stance my whole life because it's been my nature this whole time. Why not? Why not? Right. But it's not fair to you.
Right.
So, what does the Bible say about this? Y'all who follow me, I'm not a Bible thumper. I always say that, but I also have to reverence the word. when it comes to relationships, because the word of God is the foundation of all relationships, period. I don't care what nobody tell you. It is the truth. Um, it was so many scriptures that came out when I was doing my research on strong friends, but this one stood out the most to me. Strong friends, listen up. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend.
Mhm.
It's important for every strong friend to have somebody who's going to sharpen them. Okay, this is Proverbs 27:17. Proverbs is my favorite book of the Bible. It's a book of wisdom. And I stand on wisdom. It's very important that, again, every strong friend needs to have somebody who is standing in proxy for them. All right. So this is the season of not tolerating inconsistent relationships. That is over for strong people. It is time for you to stop neglecting yourself, neglecting
Mhm.
your needs, and
Mhm.
settling for inconsistent people. All right. Because strong friends should always have good friends who are not seeking to take from you, but they simply want to be around you. Their wants want your wants. Not just with a man, but also your girlfriends
Mhm.
want should want what you want. All right. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna let DeAnne take it from here. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think the big thing that I think people often forget is that relationships, and I want to say almost all relationships are transactional. So that means that it's going to be, or it's supposed to be, some give and take. Okay. That's just kind of part of this journey, right? So we all have things that we are gifted with that we give away, but we also have to be in a place where we're able to receive. And that is, when you think about your friends, those are the people that you choose to be in your life. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we choose to be in your life. We don't choose our family, but we do choose our friends. So if you are choosing these people to be in your life, why keep the ones around who are steady taking?
Okay, so I want to answer that question. Most of the time, it's because as strong people, we want to feel needed. That is, most
Yes.
of the time, we want to feel needed.
We all want to feel needed.
But I would say some strong people who, I want to say not all strong friends, but there are
Hmm.
some people who have that on them. Like, I gotta be needed. I'm the one. You, that's some
Yeah.
people.
I think it's more or less they identify, like they have that be part of their identity. Not
Yeah.
necessarily, I think because they were, like you said earlier, more than likely they were in a space where they had to be a certain way. They had to be this anchor or this strong person, because there was no safe space for them to be vulnerable in. So if you kind of internalize that as being part of your identity, then yeah, you're gonna carry that well into the rest of your relationships.
Yeah. And I think there's a certain time where there's a cutoff. You have to grow out of that, but you have to want to.
And yeah, you got to be aware that that's what's going on.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah.
do. And another thing too, going back to what you said, asking the question, why do we allow those people? Why are we tolerating those inconsistent relationships? Why are we doing that? And so, if we want to break free from that, y'all gotta get ready for this next thing I'm going to say. You gotta start looking at your friendships now, evaluating those relationships. And a lot of times we come away from we don't want to do that because we don't want to face the truth about how a person is showing up in our life. But if you desire to have better in your life, you got to look at, okay, who you have around you right now and how are they being an asset in your now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. I always have to like say start with self. So before we start evaluating our relationships with other people. We got to evaluate the relationships with ourselves um because I think it comes down to what is it that you are willing to put up with and what you are not. What do you have the mental capacity to hold, you know,
Yeah.
as it pertains to other people? And like, are you even dealing with your own stuff? You got to start with you first before you can evaluate those, those friendships, those other relationships.
Yeah. That is so good. Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, what does that mean to you? And you kind of went into that.
Mm,
And the benefits of evaluating your relationships is to know, get to first, like you said, get to know yourself
yes.
first. Get to know what makes you tick, what brings you joy,
Hmm.
um, what brings you peace.
Hmm.
How can you do those things in your life first before you invite other people in? Because I feel like when you are a strong person, you're doing everything for everybody, you have to set boundaries so you don't get drained. But before you set boundaries, you do have to evaluate, okay, what do I need? Who I need to cut out right now? Like you do have to self-reflect. So I do agree with that because I'm in that season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing so much in my life
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm.
And I have to shut things down. Holy Spirit told me, like, you shouldn't conversations out. You shutting people out right now.
Yeah.
It's my time. It's my time with you. And so we got to start spending more time with the Lord too. We're not doing that. We're too busy on our phone. And TJ said this, and I agree. He said some of y'all have a better relationship with your cell phone than you do with the Lord
Ooh.
and with people.
Ooh. That's
I'm gonna say
true.
that again because y'all not gonna go on YouTube and find that sermon. But he said it. Majority of the people in the world have a better relationship with their cell phone, okay, than they have with people.
You know why? Because it's easier.
It's easier.
That's
Easier.
it's
But this is not a
easier.
relationship. You
Yeah.
checking on me on social media is not a relationship. I will say that again. I don't care who get mad. It is the truth. If you got my phone number, you can call me. You can text me. The phone work both ways. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it honest tonight. I know I'm not the only one. I know some people on here like, oh girl, yes, me. Come on, talk to me. Okay? And that's real.
It's real.
Shanice said, I had her thing up for a minute. I wanted to
Mhm.
comment. I'm willing to pour and pour, and then I realize I'm empty and nothing has been poured into me. I need, I don't need a lot, but we all need fuel. Okay,
Yes.
listen, that's real. We all need fuel, but we gotta have people around us who can feel that because there are a lot of people around us who just have a handout and they don't have anything to give back to us. They may not have the capacity to pour into you, and that's why it's important to put the boundaries up so that you don't run dry. That's very important. Um, oh, wait a minute. Ladonna said that's because they seeking validation. Yes, strong friends. Yep, that is not necessarily the strong friend, but the one that shows up to be seen.
So, and I get exactly what she's saying, but we gotta I really break down what are we really seeing as strong? Are we seeing strong as not being vulnerable? Because that's not strong, but that's the overall meaning, right? We thinking, oh, we can be vulnerable, I can I'm resilient, I can push through all this stuff, when in reality, like, it's a whole lot of other stuff going on. You got a lot of internal conflict because all of these people are, essentially taking from you, or expecting you to be present, expecting you to do all this stuff, when in reality you can't do it all because ain't nobody put a S on your chest. You're not a superhuman.
No, no.
The vulnerability is the strong part. That's the strong part. That's the human experience. And
Mhm.
that's what the strong friends got to take into consideration.
Yes, yes. I truly believe that what you just said. I will say too, not everyone's called to be a strong friend. That is okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is okay too. But what I will say to people who have strong friends in their life, be aware of what you're contributing to your strong friend. And also ask your friend, how can you show up for them?
Asking, asking.
Communicate that.
Hmm.
Because I have, and I wish she was on here, but she not. But we had conversations, and she would dread, talking about where we are in our relationship because
Yeah,
she know there are certain areas she can't do. But I'm not here to Bible thump you and say you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But I
yeah,
will say, hey, how about we work on this? If your friend is not willing to work on a certain area that you did address, that's something to be considered
absolutely.
because you're communicating what you want, and they're not following through. Guess what? You got to put them in a different category. You
Yeah,
don't have to dismiss them. Oh, you're not my friend anymore because you're not doing this. Maybe it's because they don't have the capacity to fulfill that spot, and somebody else can. But I will say this too. Now, if you can't fulfill a spot, don't get mad because somebody else got to sit somebody else in.
uh,
Come on now,
that
okay?
territorial stuff.
You that's not you don't know your lane. And so
Yeah,
one thing I can say, any of my friends can get on here and say, man, Neat, she know how to show up in my life. I know how to show up in people's life. I don't be bombarding people. I got my own thing going on.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
do know how to show up in because again, everybody I'm around have different personalities. So
Hmm.
when you are a friend, not no strong, helping everybody, but if you just aware, if you are a friend that's aware, you know how to show up for
Yeah,
people. You're not jealous of who they're connected to and all that stuff. No, because you know your lane in your friend life if you really care about them.
that's right.
I'm gonna stop that. Go ahead, girl. I go on
You
about that.
preaching now.
I'm just saying. Y'all, I'm in my lane. I know what God called me to do. And I really help people when it comes to the friendship part.
Yeah,
There are people, and I know you counsel a lot of people, so I know you know this. Women who say, I don't have no girlfriends.
mm,
I do get scared when a woman says she don't have friends.
yes.
Am I the only one to think that?
That is no, because that is a whew, that's a hard one to break down because because I have definitely come across women both professionally and personally who have made that statement, and I know that it's a lot behind
Yeah,
that goes, unseen. So it is nothing like, and I love men. I love men so much, but it's nothing like having that girlfriend that you can call up, that you, yes, definitely red flags, cuz, that you can call up, that you can, just really break down, because if you think about it, so many women have very similar experiences,
yes, that
and
part,
and
Sherry, that part.
and you feel validated when you sit down and talk to a group of women and you realize that you're not alone in some of the things that we struggle with or have challenges with. And it
Yeah,
doesn't always have to pertain to being the opposite sex. No, it's just our walk in life. It's just a different experience. So to have that fellowship with another feminine being is amazing.
it is. It is. Yeah. And that goes back to what Shanice is saying. Being
Yeah,
vulnerable is so hard. It's finding those people that make it a safe space. That is so true.
and that's the
I'm big
part.
on I'm big on trying to set my atmosphere. I'm a teacher, y'all, in my
Yep.
class. So everybody want to be in my classroom. My principal, my dean tell me get out, because you make me nervous, get out. But I get it. It's how you set your I would say it's how you set the atmosphere in your home. That's the biggest thing. Because if you have a peaceful environment at home, you carry it everywhere you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know and I think we should really, going back to what we said earlier, focusing on self so
Yeah.
that you are inviting, because the scripture do say this: you have to Be friendly, show yourself friendly in
Yes.
order for people to like you. I had
That,
to tell a student earlier today, I'm keeping it real. We're in a month of gratitude. This is one of our moral focuses.
mhm.
And I had the students say, who is nice to them in the classroom besides myself and my co-teacher? I said,
Yeah.
no, let me have the kids talk about each other. And the one student, he said, nobody. And I said, I know you telling the story. And I said, you have to, and he's really an introvert, and he's only 7 years old. But he came to my class, transferred him to my class, and so he's kind of like to himself. He has conversations with me and
Yeah.
the other teacher. He's around older people at home.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, so of course he's a little more mature. I was like, no, now who's around here that you actually talk to? He was
yeah.
pointing. I said, what's their name? And he said, I don't know their name. So I'm like, well, ask them around you, what's the person's name? So, having to help them navigate through that. I'm like, you have
Yeah.
to see, see and make friends. You have to show yourself friendly.
That,
He was
yeah.
like, oh, I gotta talk to people. I'm like, you have to talk to each
Right.
other. So you have to be in a space where you're willing to be friendly to people. Go ahead, Deanne.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, and that finding those people that make it, that create that safe space, like that's a task in and of itself. But guess
Yeah.
what? That's not gonna stop me from doing, and that's being vulnerable because I have a right to be.
Yes. And yeah,
Yeah.
embracing your vulnerability is important to
Yep.
you. It should be to you.
Do that anyway. And
Yeah,
that's the thing. And then, you gotta weed the folks out. But at the
that's
same
it.
time, like I always tell people, don't stop shining your light. Keep shining your light. And guess what accompanies that light? Your emotions. Don't st- Anytime you have to shut those off or minimize things
Uh-oh.
or any
Shrink.
of that stuff, shrink, you are dimming your light.
Don't shrink. If you gotta shrink, I'm throwing that person off. No, no.
That means it's not a safe space.
No, that's right. So anytime you feel that, go the other way.
Absolutely.
No, they're not inviting. They peopling. We don't have time for that.
Hmm.
Those are insecure people.
Yeah, so and it takes people time to get to that point, and it took me time to get to that point.
Yeah.
I always maintain my vulnerability. However, I again with being a healer, we attract certain people that take advantage of that,
Yep.
and you live and you learn, and I truly believe that's all part of the journey. We can't try to avoid disappointment because we're going to be disappointed, and that's what I don't want people to feel like they have to be that wall. They have to have that wall up simply because they're trying to avoid the disappointment, because you're avoiding the good stuff that comes too in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So put that
That's
wall
good.
down.
Yeah.
Put it down. Let some
Yeah.
good stuff in.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Yeah, that wall, yes, it's a terrible thing to do. Half up. I know because I've had it for so long. Even in the process of doing what I do for
Yeah,
you all, I've had my wall up with certain situations, certain people. I was having
yeah,
a wall up, but I'm like, no, let me just no take this down so that I can really flow fully in
yes,
what God's called me to be and be willing and open for the new relationships that's going to get me to where I need to be and maintain. Like that's another thing too. People think when they have friends, are they gonna be there? No, Negro. What you gonna do to maintain that friendship? What are you going to do to maintain that? You know how we get in a relationship with a man? Oh, I got him now, or he got you. I ain't got to do nothing. Yes, you do. So the same thing when it comes to a relationship with a man or a woman. Wait, same thing in friendships. It
transaction.
don't stop. 15, 20, 30-year relationships don't stop. You still have to maintain something that's healthy. Now, you talking about you know somebody 30 years, but you only been in their life 15 of those years. Y'all ain't know that's not a relationship. You are an acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go into breaking that down because we don't have time to go into that. Okay, because that's a whole y'all to come to the conference. Y'all want to get deep into it. Okay. All right. But setting boundaries, what are boundaries? What are what are some things that you consider boundaries?
So,
Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, the boundaries are pretty much knowing what your limits are, what your limits are in anything, you know. So if you, and I know we all have our days where we, are up for peopling and being around people and all that stuff, and then there's days where we're not. So in the days that you're not, don't do it. I mean, that it's simply that. It's that simple. It's difficult to reinforce, but it's your responsibility to reinforce your own boundaries. It's nobody else's responsibility. It's almost like you have to understand that you'll be reinforcing your boundaries every single day because people are going to people.
My students do it every day.
Yeah, people
I
gonna
gotta
take
say,
they're gonna
come from
take
my desk, come from
all
over
of
here,
you.
go back.
And it's our responsibility to reinforce our own boundaries. We can't expect for people to know certain things. You can't do that.
I hope can you say that again? You cannot expect.
You can't expect people to know your boundaries. You got to reinforce them. They won't know until you reinforce them yourself.
Yeah,
So that's
and you
it.
got
It's our job.
yes, and you got people who have the nerve to disregard your boundaries or laugh at your boundaries. Those are people they don't need to be there. They don't deserve
Take,
your time
take
or
them out the
space or
VIP section.
energy. Like
Yeah. Take them out the VIP section. They don't need to be there.
they need to be in the far back of the
Put
acquaintance
them in
area.
nosebleed. Or, a couple rows back, depending on what season you in,
About 5 rows
And then,
back. I'm thinking about 3 people right now who's in the back.
I mean, it's like that sometimes. It's like that.
Yeah, and that is okay because you gonna respect. Okay, you gonna respect from back there.
Yep.
Since you want to be like this, be petty. I'll be petty from back there with everybody else. Like that's how you take ownership of your life. Take ownership of your relationships.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah, you do. You do. And so my next question was going to be, why do strong friends need boundaries?
Oh,
Because your battery it drains.
you
Like
have.
Shanice said, she'll pour and pour and pour. And I think I did a demonstration on one of my conferences where I used a bottle of water. As you can see here, this almost gone. My cup should always be full, and people should only get the overflow.
That's
When
right.
this starts to get down a little bit here, that's a problem. Nobody should get your cup. They should
Right.
only get your overflow.
Absolutely. And I mean, and when I think about like boundaries and self care and all those like buzzwords or whatever, I like to describe them as investments. Okay. So when we think about like stress and work and life and just, all the things that we have to deal with as adults, that stuff can build up to a point where it starts to turn into physical ailments and it can kill you. So, and I know
Yeah,
that sounds harsh, but it's the truth.
it's the truth. Yeah.
So when you know that it's time for, okay, well, I don't have the capacity to deal with X, Y, and Z. So then you don't do it because you are making an investment into your own health. You have to invest in yourself.
Listen, you her cash app is because I tell people this. I don't mind investing in myself over and over again
Yeah,
because I know where I'm called to. This is my business.
that's right.
And
That's right.
in my personal life, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. If I'm doing it in my business, I gotta do it in my personal life.
That's right.
So I started investing myself in my personal life, my mental
Hmm.
health, my emotional health,
Yeah.
my physical health. I started to invest in myself in those areas.
Yeah.
And like one of my other collaborators said on here, she said the most, the most important person that we neglect is ourselves. We are
Always.
the hardest person to deal with, is
Mhm.
ourselves. But I'm telling you, I promise you, when you start working on yourself, nobody has to know what the issues are but you.
That's
But
right.
when you start working on them, a lot of those layers that you had on you will start to peel off. You'll feel better about yourself. You become more confident in who you are and whose you are. You wouldn't mind being more vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
meeting new people, doing new things. I'm trying to tell you, take your time and embrace that. Give yourself grace to invest in yourself
Right. That's right.
because there are people out here who can't be by themselves. They always got to be with a clique or be with some around somebody because if they're around themselves too long, they start to have an issue.
What did the height of the pandemic do? It
It's
showed a lot of people that
oh
they
God,
could not sit alone with their thoughts.
no, it's still being revealed. People are out here just weird. Cussing people out you don't even know. I'm like, what is going on? Get you some help.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, that's another conversation. I want to talk about this real quick and then we're gonna come off here and go on Instagram. Um, how do you handle avoidance, like avoiding issues? Like people, I know strong friends, we
Yeah,
avoid stuff.
absolutely. So
Because
there's actually like a clinical term called avoidance coping.
okay,
And it's pretty much where it's just exactly like it sounds. You avoid to cope. However, we know that that is unhealthy. You're doing this instead of confronting things head on. Instead of telling somebody you don't want to go or something, you just go ghost for the night or something like that. But it's like, no, you can say, hey girl, I'm not really feeling it tonight. Like that's okay.
yeah,
So avoidance coping, I think it's something that a lot of times I think a lot of us do. We just don't realize that we do it. We don't realize that we do it. So instead, we stay in the bed all day, or we drink, heavily, or we do other stuff. We it's like a distraction. It's like a distraction.
yeah, yeah.
So we have to look like we got some spam.
We do. We gonna block you right on out of here, Doc.
There we go.
Period.
So it's we have to be aware of that's what we're doing. We have to be able to point that out. So like I like to tell my clients, all right, so if you feel like you don't have the capacity, today, right, I need you got to schedule, so you got to schedule time to confront that challenge or that problem. You
Hmm.
have to schedule time in your schedule to to take care of that, because
Yeah.
and I know it sounds kind of like, what, I gotta schedule worry time. Yeah, you do, because if you don't, you're not gonna do it.
You're not. That's true.
So
That's true.
set a date and a time where you are focused on doing whatever you have to do.
Listen, I'm gonna just share this. I don't share everything, but something my trauma coach told me to do was I need you to focus on three emotions that you want to deal with.
Hmm.
And I didn't. I was like, all right, well, let me get myself together. I put on my Holy Ghost music. I'm just being real. Put on
Hmm.
my worship.
Yeah.
Put it on my meditation and just got in the zone. And I had to unplug. I had to be empty myself of everything that was going on around me in order to focus on
Yeah.
what I need to get clarity on
Yeah.
concerning my past. Like certain things that was coming up that I needed to really focus on. All right. So I don't know why I'm sharing, but I'm sharing with somebody who needs to do this for yourself. And
Hmm.
she made me journal. I'm like, dang it, now I gotta journal exactly the three things I need to focus on in my personal life, my emotional life, my part of my life, and my business. Like I was thinking about some emotional things. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, and some concerns. I'm like, wow, you have to really take that time, like she just said, you guys, and focus on that. And because I did that, my last session was the bomb.com.
Good.
Okay. Because I was able to release some things because I took the time to really be vulnerable with me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Get people, vulnerability is for you.
Yep.
So you're comfortable with who you are, not other people. They their thing is they have to accept it or not. That's the and who cares? Because the ones who accept you, they'll be present in your life,
That's right.
rain or shine. That's just that's just
That's
that.
true. That's the truth.
That okay? What she say? It's a comfort and not a
Yeah.
solution for sure. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's a pacifier for sure. But
Oh yeah. It's not right.
we,
The upside down smile. It's not right.
we know if we keep, sweeping things under the rug, right? If you continuously do that, it's still going to be dust up under there. And
Yes,
it's going to get to a point where you can't walk on that space on the rug because it's so piled up high with dirt up under there.
yes. She
So you
said,
got to address it.
"You do."
Journaling is great. Journaling
Yes.
is great. It's old school. A lot of people say, "What, a journal?" But it's great. It's
Let me
great
tell you.
because
Work.
I think I always have to remind people that you're not writing a novel, right? Maybe not, right? You're not writing a novel. It doesn't have to be complete sentences. You have to literally word vomit everything that is on your brain.
Yeah.
You'll
That's
be amazed at what comes out on that paper.
yeah, because it made me go back. Even when she told me to write down the emotions, I
Yeah.
actually went back to review a few things that I've already written down to see was I still harnessing some of that mess.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's real, y'all, and that's okay. And I was like, golly, I'm still dealing with this. Let me go ahead and just write this down and work on it.
Yep.
It's a part of the journey. You have to love and embrace every part of the journey. I was telling my friend, people don't know, but I lost 10 pounds. People don't really know. I'm not sure if you may have noticed the pictures of me now, but and I'm just sharing it because somebody out here needs to know as a strong friend, you gotta work on you. Your
Mhm.
friends ain't gonna work on you. You gotta work on you.
It's not their job.
Yes, yeah, they're relying on you. So you gotta again be around people who are gonna push you, hold you accountable, um, and check in on you. All right, while you're in your journey, because that's what I have. And so I was just telling one of my friends about um, I speak to my body. So I'm
Hmm.
not sure who this is for,
Hmm.
but speak to your body on your journey. It boosts your confidence. It causes you to stay on task and be disciplined in your eating habits.
Yep.
Just keeping it honest, keeping it real with you are. With you, when you're serious about yourself, other people will take you serious. Just being honest. So we can sit here all day and talk about yeah we're always we're here for everybody else. Okay, now it's time for the strong person to be first for
That's right.
yourself.
Yes. Be here for yourself. It's always going to be only you at the end of the day.
That's true.
And I
That's
mean, I think it's nobody in your brain to challenge you but yourself. So
yeah,
you have to really understand that you are your only assignment. Even if you're a parent, yes, you have to make sure your children are, safe, protected, fed, all of that stuff. But they're going to grow up and they're going to move on with their lives. So it's still just going to be you.
yes, yes. Um, anybody who's older who gonna watch this replay, stop living your life through your children, your adult children.
Please stop.
You need to start living for you. You are alive for a reason. I don't know why I'm going here, but it's something about this older generation. They're waiting to die. Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Please stop.
So anybody watching this, send it to your mom, auntie, whoever who's just feeling like they're wasting away. You're not wasting away. You are still valuable. You're still important to us. So I'm just pouring into the elders right now. We still need you.
Yep, sure do.
That is the truth. We still need
Absolutely.
you to cover us. But you have to first know that you are worth it
Hmm.
and get yourself together so you can cover. I don't know why I went there just now, but somebody needs to know
I
that.
need to hear it. Yeah,
You've been holding down for so long. Now you're tired. You want to live your life through no.
don't do it. Can't.
Don't do that. That's not what you called to do. I'll say to any parent out here, I'm a teacher. I would say you gotta make sure you take care of your mental too. In order for you to show up for your children and be strong for them, you
Absolutely.
got to make sure you take care of you. Okay. As a teacher, I can only do so much in my classroom
Yeah.
every day. There's only so much I can do. I can't live with y'all. My parents be like, "Ooh, can I come home with you?" No,
Mm-mm.
no, they cannot. Period. No, I'm good. In
That's right.
between 8 and 3, I'm good. I'm good. Weekends is free for me. Praise God. Um, but seriously, parents, make sure you check in with yourself. And I also want to say this to the Black community: have family meetings. What's wrong with y'all? Please talk to your children. Check in with them.
Oh yeah.
Go in on, knock on that door. Kick that door down. They don't own no door, no lock or no door. What? You
Yeah.
listen, they in your house. I don't know why these parents of today are friends with their kids. No,
Oh no. No.
immediately no. Okay, because not in my classroom. Okay, you have
Mm-mm.
to check in with them. The more I say, the more you spend time with your children, the better they are in the classroom. I'm just keeping it real. Like the better they are, they're more well rounded. They have a mom or a dad or auntie or whoever it is checking in
Somebody.
with them.
Hmm.
Somebody, because not everybody have a mom,
Yeah.
right? So I just want to throw that out there. But we about to get off of here. Did you have any final words you want to say to our strong friends on tonight?
Ah, strong friends. You are your only assignment. You are your only assignment. You, you take care of yourself. Like it's so important for you to take care of yourself. Do the things that you enjoy. Set your boundaries. Like spend time with yourself. Have fun with yourself. And then you know what? When you're ready to be around some other folks that you love and care for, do it. But you are your only assignment. You're not responsible for anybody else's pain but your own. Take care of you.
So good. I love that. I love that. I will not add no more to that. We'll be on here another 30 minutes. We ain't got time for that. Listen, y'all, real quick before we get off, we have one more final finale, not finale of Candid Conversation, but for the year. And we're bringing on the preview of our conference next year. It's going to be December 2nd.
Yeah.
So you do not want to miss out. Y'all stay tuned for all of the, I would say, the sneak peek and what we're going to be talking about and who's going to be involved. DeAnne's going to be there. Okay. We have events coming up too as well, not just the conference in 2023. We have so much in store. Y'all just keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer, okay? Because it's a lot that we are planning. I'm stepping out on faith, like for real. Like I'm not saying I'm for real, but for real, on a different level that I never had before. Okay, that I need God to show up, and I want you all to come. If you're in Detroit, we having our conference next year. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me there at Neek Speaks, and make sure you follow DeAnne as well. DeAnne, what's your handle?
It's naturally D3.
Yeah,
Naturally DEE3.
okay. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with her. We're about to go over there in a minute. What you say? This live needs to be broken up for content
Oh,
pieces. Oh, this has been a word. Oh, trust we got more coming. Like this is
more is
just
coming.
there's more is coming. We don't mind, giving you again giving you some valuable stuff because somebody gave it to us. Okay, so we don't mind giving you things. Again, guys, make sure you guys stay tuned. December 2nd, we'll be live again. We'll be having a lot of other people on here that's going to be bringing some heat. We're talking about, can sex really wait? Y'all are going to be blown away of the speakers who's going to be on during that segment. So again, I'm super excited about that. So I won't go into anything further about that. But you all be blessed. Thank you again, DeAnne, for tapping in.
Thank
You
you.
guys
Thank
make sure
you.
again you stay tuned December 2nd. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you all in our next video.
Bye. Bye, everybody.